What's up, guys? Welcome to my beginner speedrun tutorial for Team Rose. A lot of the resources out there for this game and this category are for like specific tricks and just techniques. There hasn't really been like a just kind of comprehensive, teaches you each level step by step kind of thing yet, so I thought I'd just make one myself. And basically it's just going to be me briskly playing through the game and just kind of pausing and explaining stuff whenever I need to, if something needs a little bit more of an explanation. So yeah, I'll be doing that. But first, I just wanted to go over a few basic techniques that kind of apply to the whole game that you're going to be using a lot. And so the first one I wanted to talk about is belly flop canceling. And so you can see, if I just hold forward with Amy, you can see how slow I move and how long it takes me to like reach top speed, or not even top speed. Like, it's still really slow. Homing attack's a little bit better, but the fastest way to get speed out of a standstill is to play as big, belly flop, and then press Y to switch to Amy before you hit the ground. And you can see just how much faster that is. So you're going to be using that a ton, so get used to doing that. You can also build up a lot of speed as big if you just cancel the belly flop like this by pressing A before you hit the ground, and you'll pull out your umbrella and you'll get a lot of speed as big. And then you can also do it as cream as well if you just add an X press after the umbrella. So just kind of slide your finger from A to X before you hit the ground. You'll get a lot of speed as cream. Another thing I wanted to talk about, pretty much 95% of the time, if you want to switch from speed to flight, you don't want to be pressing Y, even though that's what it looks like you should be doing. You actually want to press X twice to do that. And the reason why, I'll show you right here. If I get a bunch of speed and press Y like that, you saw Big flew from way over here and kind of tried to get himself into the bottom of this totem. And when the distance between you and him is big enough and he tries to do that, you'll just lose all of your speed. So if you press X twice, that was kind of a bad example, hold on. There, you can see I kept all my speed just by pressing X twice instead of Y. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. This next thing you might already know. If you jump as Amy and hold A, you'll do this kind of hammer twirl that'll suspend you in midair and kind of get you further. And you can actually even hold it, press B to tornado and hold it again, and just get a ton of distance that way. And that's useful to know because it can save you from death like more often than you think, just knowing how to get max distance like that. So good to know. And we're almost done. One last thing I want to show you is called hammer jumping. Like, there's always going to be an alternative to doing this trick. Oh, I don't want that pillar there for this. But yeah, it's never going to be completely necessary, but it's good to know and it's worth telling you about. So basically you're going to get a rocket excel and then fly off the ledge and press B. And you saw what happened was I pulled out my hammer and I was kind of like floating across this large gap here, and I was able to jump out of it and just get down here. That's going to be useful for like crossing large gaps sometimes. It's a really fast way to do that. It's a little tricky to pull off, you kind of have to get used to it. But it's literally as simple as that. You rocket excel at a ledge, press B before you fly off, and the hammer will like send you very far. So you'll see me do that a few times. And then there's one more thing I wanted to cover, which is about grinding in this game. So I'll go to Rail Canyon to show that off. But basically the idea is you can get from almost no speed on a rail to top speed if you switch quickly between your speed and your power character while holding the B button. So if I hold B and I go like this, it gets me to my top speed very quickly. So I'll slow down again, And you can see that just speeds you up. You don't want to be spamming this the entire time you're on a rail. It literally just accelerates you up to top speed. And once you hit top speed, it doesn't really do anything after that. So, you only have to do it a couple times, and you'll be going fast. So, just keep that in mind. You'll see me do it throughout the run. So, as long as you know what I'm doing and why it's important, then that's all that matters. Alright. So now, like I said, just going to be playing through the game. Stopping occasionally, but not too much. Like, a lot of what I'm gonna do is just kind of play through the game and have you guys just copy what I'm doing. And then if anything really needs explanation, I'll obviously talk about it. So, in a normal speedrun, your timer would start right now. Doesn't really matter too much since this game runs off game time, but I'll explain that later. So the first level is the tutorial level for Team Rose. And this one's a little interesting because there are a bunch of text boxes throughout it that you have to mash A to get through. No other level has this, so you kind of just have to get used to platforming and then occasionally mashing through the text. And you'll learn like where the text boxes are the more you play it. You saw me do a belly flop cancel back there, and another one just there. It's like a good example of how it's used. So the tutorial level has a bunch of these like cages that are blocking off a spring that helps you get to the next part. You can bypass a lot of them just by belly flopping on them and switching to cream and just flying up like that. So pretty useful. Right here, you'll match the text, get a rocket excel. That was a pretty slow one. You can sometimes get a fast one too, but it doesn't matter too much. So again, belly flop here. Right here, I'm gonna thunder shoot my characters so that the length of my flight formation is smaller, and that helps me land up here. That's actually a tech that you're gonna use quite a bit. Like, I'll use it in a second. Right here, I'll shoot Amy. And then you saw it made me short enough to get up there. And that's used throughout the game. We'll do it again there. So yeah, just copy what I'm doing. Nothing too complicated yet. Right here, what I like to do is something like this, where I belly flop as big, switch to Amy, switch right back into big. And you'll kind of break 2 blocks at a time like that. You can ignore all of these enemies and just go over here. And then right here, switch to big, walk between those guys, do one more, and then you want to land right here. Don't walk too far forward because there's actually a text box you can skip here if you just jump, hold A, and you'll homing attack the goal ring. Saves you a little bit of button mashing at the end, which is nice. Okay, so now we're onto the normal levels. So you saw me do the hammer jump on this level at the beginning when I was doing the tech overview. So that's a strat you can do. If that's bothering you, you can just do this. Just kind of play it casually with cream. Just land right here. Land up here. Go down like that. But either way, once you're down here, you want a belly flop cancel. Get up here. Press X twice, like I was saying, to switch to cream. And then, oh yeah, this is one of 2 bobsleds in the game. There are only 2. Or this category, I should say. The only other one is in Mystic Mansion, so not for a while. But basically, all you want to do here is hold up to go faster, and then hug as many turns as you can. So right here, I switched to big before hitting that, so I can belly flop. right there, the enemies can kind of troll you sometimes. It's RNG. Like sometimes they'll stand right in front of that little gap I walked through. If that happens, you're probably going to get hit by them, but there is a way to run around them. It's just a little tricky, and you have to get used to it. Right there, you saw me belly flop before I hit the ground. And then, yeah, just switch to cream and fly into that tree there. And then right here. So it's usually a pretty good idea when you're going downhill as Amy to be holding B, so you roll down the hill. It's just slightly faster. And then sometimes when you do this, you can let go of B and get a Rocket Excel from Cream, but you'll come to learn that that's pretty finicky. It's kind of case by case, you know. Sometimes you'll get a rocket boost, sometimes you'll hammer twirl and lose all your speed, so it kind of depends on the spot. You just have to get used to it. But right there it worked. And you saw I went off the right side of that ramp, so I didn't go through the rings. And you actually want to do that because the animation you get by going through the rings is very slow and very laggy, so you want to try to avoid it. Right there, you saw me go through the left loop, the left side of it, to get the speed item. And then as I go through these two gates, I'm going to immediately switch back to Amy. I don't want to play as big a Cream as I'm running through that hallway. And then, yeah, just one belly flop cancel to break the blocks, and then jump into the goal ring.
We're like awesome.
Right here, just jump over this thing and then fly into that. You saw I thundershot right as I went into that speed ring, and that kind of decreases the amount of lag that you have, or like the amount of time it takes you to land afterwards. So that's like a cool little optimization if you want. Go in here, belly flop cancel, stay as big. And then you saw I just belly flopped the brick, switched to Amy, and then homing attacked into the ring that was above me. That all kind of happened pretty quickly. Alright, switch to Cream here, and you can just jump up here and thunder shoot. Make your way up here super early. And then right here is actually a spot where you can hammer jump if you want, like that. If you miss it, you can take the lower route down there. It's not too slow. Right here, I like to belly flop cancel on the side like that. Then right here, as you go through this gate, press Y and then jump off. And just make your way to safety after that. Go around the blocks. And right here, go around this loop. And here I want to be Cream as I go into this cannon, because that's going to send me the way I want to go. And then here you got to be a little bit careful. Switch to Big. I recommend facing forward here. Belly flop into Amy and then jump over like that. Hit the spring. Go inside this cannon as Amy. One more ramp here. And I like to go in between these guys. You can go around them if you'd like. But switch to Cream and then get the goal ring. Alright, this is the first boss fight, and it's a very easy one. So right away you're gonna belly flop cancel backwards and spam B to break a box that's behind you. This one right here. And there's an invincibility power up in there. After that you're gonna belly flop cancel again to get over here. Hit him twice. Make your way to the center here. You can fly into him like that to do a little bit of damage if you want. And then literally just switch to Big and spam B at him. and he'll die. That is definitely one of the easier boss fights in the game. And don't get used to it, because the other ones are not necessarily difficult, but a lot more trolly. A lot more can go wrong.
No doubt about it. My heart.
And the beginning of this level is actually like semi-automated, or however you want to say it. The game's playing itself right here. You don't have to hold anything until you land right here. But start holding B when you hit these trail of rings. That's an easy way to get a rocket excel there, guaranteed. Make your way over here. Switch to cream. Oh, didn't mean to run into that guy. But switch to cream, go through that. Make your way over here. You can kill this guy from a distance. Just wait for the door to open, then do that. Switch to cream. Fly through. You can thunder shoot as you go through, like I said earlier. Right there, you saw I jumped and hit the ramp on like the very tip of it, and that sends you over the rings with the long animation. Alright, right here, we're gonna skip by this bridge that's coming up. We're gonna clip underneath it. And so, the easiest way to do that is to just switch to big, do a belly flop cancel into cream, jump off, start a flight around that height-ish, and then go all the way so you're pressing up against the wall. So just watch what I did again. Start your flight at the height that I did, go forward until you're touching the wall, and then just spam A while holding forward. And you should go through like that. Go off that ramp as big so you can belly flop here and jump over. Get these two switches and kill this guy. Right here you can belly flop cancel, switch to big and do that to cross that little gap there. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory, that part. Right here, you can actually rocket excel into these poles. Maybe you thought you had to tornado them, but you actually don't. You can just do that. You can either homing attack that enemy and then homing attack into the ring like I just did, or just use cream. Right here, you actually want to have Team Blast. I came up a little bit short, so I'll just Thunder Shoot, get Team Blast, fill up the last of the meter. You can run between those guys and just Team Blast them. And then you would hit that switch, but there's a thing I want to talk about here. If you die trying to get by the bridge that we skipped earlier, and it takes you maybe 2 or 3 tries, you're actually going to get to this part with less Team Blast meter than you would normally have. And so if that happens, you can either just kill the enemies normally, that's probably what I would recommend doing, or if you're very close, if you need just a little bit more meter, what you can do is a glitch. I don't know what it's called actually, Team Blast glitch, I don't know. But if you switch to cream and press B and X on the same exact frame at the same exact time, you can build a bunch of meter like this. So that's an option for you if you want to do that. And then just Team Blast. We'll actually be using that later in the run. So here's the first instance of grinding in the run. Remember, just switch between power and speed. And then you want to jump off of these rails before you hit the springs on the end of them. And jump onto the next rail after it normally, you know?
Guess this will do.
Alright, and then the next level is Power Plant. And this is the first instance where we have to keep track of level ups. Basically, we want to get Cream to level 2. And you can do it really easily here. Just switch to Cream, get this balloon, now you're level 1, and get this balloon, and you're level 2. And then you want to stand right here on this side. If you lose track of what side is what, it's not a huge deal. Like, this is just for convenience sake, really. If you know which side you have to be on. You can cut this short by belly flop canceling into Cream and just flying up early. And then the reason I wanted level 2 Cream was so I could one-shot those guys that I just killed right there. Makes it a little bit faster. And right here, if you'd like, you can do a sort of like a skewed belly flop with Big on this next part. So belly flop into Amy, switch to Big, and do something like that. And yeah, just follow my movement. Right here you can jump off of the end of that blue path and just get through those rings like that. Right here we'll thunder shoot as we go through that. And this part actually has a pretty crazy jump you can do. Let's see if I can pull it off. Yeah, like that. So if you time a jump really well, you can land up here, just break these boxes and then move on. But if you miss that, it's kind of tricky to do. It's like 1 or 2 frames maybe. Otherwise, just kill this guy, wait for these to rise up, and then go through normally like that. Belly flop cancel down here, kill that guy. If you're lucky, your like swing to kill him will also hit the spring hitbox in that little cage, like I just said. So that's nice. And right here, you want to belly flop cancel as Big, and then jump and pull out your umbrella to get across that gap. And then just homing attack your way to the end. And now we have an example of a really annoying boss fight here. It's the Team Sonic battle. And there's a way to quick kill them and finish the fight in about 7 seconds, very quickly. So you're gonna skip the cutscene that plays after Power Plant, and slightly before you gain control of your characters, you're gonna start holding down. And then once you gain control, you're gonna press B like 2 or 3 times just to break the boxes that are behind you. And then once they start running at you, you're gonna wait for them to run across the red line, or be on the red line, and just tap jump. So hold down, break, jump. And then there they go. After you jump, I like to hold the R button to turn the camera and see if they died or not, or at least how many of them fell off. Sometimes you don't get all of them, sometimes you don't get any of them. It kind of depends on your timing. But yeah, your visual cue is just the red line that's on the field. I'll show it off again.
Okay, here we go.
And this is very tricky to do.
Amy, knock it off. There's no time to play.
So I would hold down now, spam B, jump. I want to jump right as they cross this line as they're running at me. So they're gonna like start over here, they're gonna run at you, and like right as they're here, just tap jump. You don't want to hold the jump button because then you'll actually end up saving them usually by like hitting them back onto the stage. You just want to lightly tap the A button and then see if they died or not. And if they didn't die, if you failed it, honestly, I don't really recommend restarting and trying again because they tend to behave differently if you do that. I would instead recommend you just try to do it casually, and I'll show you a few backup strats that tend to work pretty well.
Amy, knock it off.
So the tried and true casual method for this is to just spam tornadoes at them, just to try to hit them off as quickly as possible. Something like that is really good.
Where are you?
Another thing that I like to do sometimes if that's not working is using Thundershoot. So I'll load up the level one more time and try to show that off. But basically with Cream, you can Thundershoot them and hit them onto the ground, and then once they're not blinking from invincibility anymore, you can Thundershoot them again to hit them off. So let's see if I can get a good example of that.
We're up. You can count on me.
Okay, here we go.
But yeah, this fight's gonna troll you a lot. I recommend practicing it as much as you can, and not just the quick kill, but these backups as well. It's gonna save you from a lot of bad runs, I
There's no time
promise.
to play.
I'll do my best.
Let's see.
Give up.
They're on the ground. Hit him again. See how he flew? Like that?
Froggy,
That was insane.
where
I don't know how they all
you?
died there, but you saw how I just waited out his invincibility and hit him again. And he's usually gonna fly backwards from whatever way he's like oriented on the ground. So if there's like boxes in his way, you can break them. Just try to get better at it. That's really the most solid advice I have for that fight. Here, we're gonna start this level with the Rocket Excel, switch to big and fly over here. Belly flop cancel there. Right here, you're gonna break the glass, get back to safety over here, switch to cream, and then just kind of fall and hold your control stick just aiming down that like pinball table, right? So you can make it all the way over to where I did and just get by that. If that doesn't go as smoothly as that and you end up on the pinball table just trying to force your way up there for a while, don't get discouraged. It does happen a lot and it is frustrating, but once you get the movement down to avoid it, it shouldn't be a problem anymore. But anyway, once you're up here, hit that with big. Watch this auto scroller for a bit. And then as you're flying out of this, aim over and fall into that. Then hit this flipper and bounce up here. And then one thing I want to mention for this level and Bingo Highway, the next level, this applies as well. If one of your teammates, can I like shoot them down there? Maybe. Well, okay. If one of them happens to be on a pinball table rolling around and you're not, do not try to switch to that character until they're by your side like this. You can physically see them. Because what'll happen if you try to switch to a character that's on a pinball table, you will go to where they are instead of normally where they come to you, right? It's not going to behave the same way. So you really don't want to switch to a character that's on a pinball table because it will screw you over and it's not fun. So just keep that in mind. Right here, what you can do if you want is just fly over to this dice block and land on this. And then you can fly over to where you need to go safely, which is that second green arrow in the background there, that like tunnel. That's where we want to go. Otherwise, if you're confident, you can do a belly flop cancel into cream and just jump there like this. And then here, you can shoot someone down the tunnel and then switch to them and end up right here really quickly. And then right here, you'll just pull these switches and end the level up here. Nice and easy. But yeah, if at any point you end up getting stuck on a pinball table, don't worry about losing a ton of time. It's just kind of what happens, what tends to happen sometimes. Another strat you can do here that abuses the pinball mechanics I was talking about earlier, if you would like, is to do your belly flop cancel into cream. Fly around here and thundershoot your characters up there like that. And once you land on the pinball table as cream and you're rolling around, that's your cue to switch to big, and then you can control him to fall right down here. And you can see that the goal ring is up there. The only thing I have to keep in mind when I do this strat is I have to wait for cream to show back up while I'm down here. So there she is. Now I can go up. If you switch to her early, then you're going to go back up to the pinball table that we launched from. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so here I aim to the left, going this left route.
And left to slightly change directions, win a ball.
Homie attack this enemy. You can belly flop out of this once you're high enough. And then belly flop that and switch to cream once you're on this slide here. So you can land like this and then immediately jump over here. And then you want to make sure that you go through this checkpoint as cream, because we want to give cream a level up here. So make sure you go through that as cream. And then you can hit that panel thing with big and then switch to cream again for this part, I recommend. Because there's a pinball table coming up where you're not going to want to be playing as big for this. Because this hitbox is so big. You want to be someone small. And then this part's very finicky. You're probably going to hate this part at some point. Oh shit. Just get up there. There we go. You want to get up there. If that takes you like literally 3 minutes to do, don't even worry about it. It's very finicky. It's very difficult. But you'll get better at it. Break those blocks. Remember, go through this checkpoint as well as cream. Make sure you're going through that as cream. So now you have level 2 cream. And that's going to be useful for this part coming up here. So I do a tornado there to get out of this. Oh, whoops. That's what it looks like if you switch to someone on a pinball table, by the way. You like teleport to them. You don't want to do that. You want to wait for them to show up here. And then level 2 cream just wrecks them. And then right here I recommend just going in the middle of them and team blasting. That's a pretty easy strat. And then just do this last pinball table. There are pits you can fall into here. Just make sure you're mindful of those. And on this next part coming up, you want to try to slow yourself down right around here, just so that you can fly out of this track by holding left, like that. And you just want to land on this pinball table down here, and then fall right into that. And jump across this gap. And then you can just finish the level really quick. Sometimes, you saw when I was holding left and I fell out of the track and like fell down to where I was supposed to be. Sometimes when you hold left, you'll actually get locked back into the track even though you're holding left. I'm not sure why that happens, but if that does happen, just keep holding left. There's another spot where you can fly out and that one's guaranteed. Just don't panic if that happens. Right here, this is the first instance of kind of like an enemy rush sort of fight. You just have to beat the enemies as quickly as possible. The only real way to do this fast is to just memorize what I'm doing. Otherwise, just get through it as quickly as possible. It's not that long with Team Rose. But yeah, first you want to fly into that balloon that's above you. Team Blast right away. And okay, right there I got bad RNG. So I didn't want to get a power core there. I wanted either an Amy, like a blue one or a yellow one. Because then I can either homing attack them to death with a blue one or thunder shoot them to death with a yellow one. But if you get a red one like I did, that's bad RNG. So you just want to homing attack them slowly, just kill them. And then there we go. I got level 2 cream. So this is good RNG again. Once you have level 2 cream, look how easy that is. So basically, this whole level is like, try to get level 2 cream as quickly as possible, and until then, just manage as best as you can. So yeah, just do what I'm doing here. I'll use Thunder Shoot one more time for these guys. And then, for these last two, you just want to stand in the middle and spam B as big, and you'll do that. And that'll end it.
Don't get too excited, boys. Those were the easy ones. Woohoo! Why are there so many of them?
Alright, Rail Canyon next. Pretty straightforward level. You're going to start off doing the grinding trick that I was showing. Hold B, and then spam the character switch. And then right as you're about to round the first turn, you're going to switch to big and then umbrella jump off. So like this. Get over here, belly flop, and try to land on the center rail. Yeah, whenever you feel yourself slowing down, that's like kind of your cue to do the grind method again. Right here, once you're over here, you can belly flop cancel into... Oh, that was a lot of lag, Jesus. Belly flop cancel, make your way over here, break this. Then right here, you can jump over to this rail, or just hit that spring that's on the end of the rail too, that works. And then right here, you want to hit this spring as cream, so you can just get up here really easily, and kind of just cheese your way across that part. Kind of like a level design oversight, I guess. Jump over to this rail, so you don't get annihilated by that train. Right here you can do another Rocket Excel to get up here. You can do all this as Amy here. And then I like to hit those springs as big so I can belly flop onto this. And right here, after this loop you want to switch to cream, X twice. And when you're in flight formation, those rings don't give you an animation. So that's why you want to do that. And then this level's pretty much over here. Once we hit this next speed thing, we're going to jump to the right like that to get on this rail. And then we're going to switch to cream, X twice, fly off this thing. Sometimes there'll be, yeah, you saw that spike ball that tried to end me. Yeah, you want to look out for that and try to avoid that. I don't know why that happens. It controls you sometimes, so just watch out. And then right here, you want to line yourself up kind of like this. So you see my feet are just to the right of the center of that like tunnel thing there. This is a better look at it. So just like that, and you'll fall right where you need to be. So another thing you can do here that I recently learned about actually is you can run off, kind of mash the C stick down or just tap it, and you can actually see the rails below you, which is very nice.
Right.
Next up is Bullet Station. Short level, probably one of the shortest in the run. Starts off with more grinding. Oh, that was interesting. Don't do what I just did there. You can homing attack along this if you're worried about falling off. Jump over here. Go up here. You can belly flop here. And as you pass under this enemy as Amy, be holding B so you roll by him. And if you're rolling underneath him, he actually can't pick you up and like capture you. This part is totally cycle based. Right there I got a bad one. So it's just based on like when you get to the cannon and like if it's about to shoot or not. It's not a huge time loss, it's whatever. Towards the end of this section, just be holding left so you land on this rail. And as you fly off this rail, be big and press B right away. And you kind of fly at that angle like that. It's pretty interesting. You can do it here as well. Just a neat little time save. Switch to Amy, or sorry, Cream. Get up here, switch to Cream again. And you're pretty much done already. Just break those boxes. And then hit that. Right here you can fly off like this and just end the level really quick. And yeah, that level's a really short one. There's actually a strat that can skip almost 90% of that level. And the strat only ends up saving like 8 to 10 seconds off of what I just did. That's how short that level is. So yeah, it's not too bad at all. Alright, now we have probably my least favorite boss fight. It can screw me over quite a bit here. There are 3 phases to Albatross. The first one and the third one are pretty simple, all things considered, but the second one's a little tough. And you kind of have to ad-lib it a little bit. But right away, what you're going to do is switch to big. Belly flop cancel and try to get behind him like this and start spamming B. Hopefully, okay, I didn't one-shot him there. You just want to keep hitting him over and over if you don't like kill him right away. I actually want to see if I can get it.
This is it. Ready?
Yeah, see, you can end it really quickly like that. That's possible to do. Okay, so second phase, what you're going to do is a little tricky. So basically, the first thing you're going to want to do is get next to him. Right there I got shot, that can happen. Just kind of hit him without getting too close. That's kind of the name of the game here. Right here, so you see this rail section that's in front of me? You never want to go beyond this point, where I'm standing right here. Because then he'll start like getting out of your range. If you ever progress the fight to this point, you're going to want to go backwards and lure him back towards you. And that's actually good because you can get him like, get in a few hits there if you do that. And then he's got 2 HP, just finish him off. And then third phase, very easy. Go backwards, do an aerial attack, and he'll die in 1 hit. But yeah, that second phase really is just doing whatever you need to do to deal damage to him. Be aware that he can kind of like fly into you and hit you off the level. That tends to happen a lot if you're not careful. So watch out for that. try to space your attacks a little bit so that doesn't happen. And then, yeah, just kind of like make sure you're not going too far forward. You'll get the hang of it after a while, obviously. Alright, so here, you're gonna grind. At the end of this rail, you can jump off like that and do an umbrella. And just go around this loop.
Feels good.
Right here, you can go behind this frog, jump off, use the L trigger to kind of help you land on this rail. Switch to cream. You can use the L trigger as you're going down that rail to like make the camera cooperate, but the idea is you fly over to that part. This you can do entirely as Amy. Run into that mushroom as big so you can belly flop this. Oh geez, hold on. Normally you would go like this, belly flop here. You're supposed to belly flop cancel into Amy. And then right there, get into one of these side lanes. And right here, you can belly flop cancel, go around this spring, run up a bit, and then jump, and you can kind of like end that part early. At this checkpoint, switch to cream and go over here. Ignore that. Hit this thing. Land up here. And then right here, we want to land on that vine over there. And a nice way to do that is to belly flop into Amy, hammer twirl, tornado, hammer twirl again, homing attack. We can use the L trigger again to help with the camera there. And then right here I recommend switching to flight, jumping off, landing on this, and getting down to this. And then end the level.
We're like awesome.
Alright, so you want to start this level holding B, and then right here you'll jump off, hold R to adjust the camera. Oh, I missed it. Jump, press R, homing attack onto this. Then at the end of this rail, you want to switch to cream and get up here. I'm actually going to do that beginning again because I want to show you something. When you jump off of that rail, you want to do it slightly before the very end of it, because there's a black frog that's below it, and if he spots you, it'll get rid of that platform you're trying to land on. So you don't want him to see you. So it's worth it to jump a little bit early off of that rail if you can remember. So like switch to cream and jump off around there, just so he doesn't see you. If you have to thunder shoot to land on this thing, it's no problem. Fly over to this. Then this is just like basic platforming right here. You can belly flop cancel and homing attack that spring. Go through this checkpoint as big. I'll explain later why you do that. Right here, switch to cream. Jump over that speed thing, and then jump again to get down here really quick. And then right here, there's a lot you can run into, but try to avoid all of it. Just make your way up here. Belly flop cancel, get over here. As you pass this robot right here, just go around him, but be holding B as you do so. Because that'll like gather your characters up like that and not let him capture any of them. Make sure you get that checkpoint as well with big. So you have level 2 big for this part. and you can just stand right around here and spam B and just kill everyone very quickly. If one of your characters does get caught by this robot, just know that it is definitely worth it to save them, especially if it's big, because we need big for this ending part, and there isn't a whole lot of backup you can do once you're in there. So definitely save them if they get caught.
We did it.
And then you'll end the level. You can homing attack the gold ring right here, sometimes.
Right.
I'm actually not sure how that works. Sometimes you homing attack it, sometimes you don't. It's whatever.
Kinda super duper happy.
And then this next team fight is way easier than Team Sonic. Probably the easiest fight in the game. Literally, don't even have to use the control stick at all. Just wait, and as soon as you see them move, just jump in Tornado right away. And you can just spam them until they're dead. Should only take a few.
Alright.
It's as easy as that.
Sorry, but there's no time for this.
Okay, so there's a door in this level that's going to be kind of difficult to explain. So we'll see how that goes.
I think we're lost.
The beginning is pretty simple though.
Come on, you guys. Don't you want to find
You're going to start it with a rocket excel.
I've gotta get tough for all of us.
Sometimes that'll happen. You won't get a good one. As you're running up to these springs, this is actually one of the rare cases in the run where switching directly from Amy to Cream is helpful. So you'll switch to Cream. You can see I already did it right before I hit the spring. And what'll happen is you'll fly up, and then she'll stop you in midair like that, and it's super fast. Normally if you hit this spring, you'll fly way up and then slowly fall down, and it's not very fast at all, so neat little time save there. Anyways, you kill that robot, and then this is the door I was talking about. So we're gonna try to clip past this door, and there are a couple of ways to do it. There's two methods I'm going to teach you. One of them is easy, but not consistent at all. It likes to not work and take a lot of tries. The other one is harder to do, but it tends to work more often than not if you do it right. So first off, I'll show the hard one. You're going to get around here and belly flop, kind of snake around, and then rocket excel into the door and try to roll through it by pressing B. Like that. You can go right through it if you have enough speed and kind of do that movement I just did. You also want to try to aim at the center of the door as much as possible rather than the sides of it. I think the center tends to clip you through more often. So yeah, that's the hard way of doing it, but if this trick is giving you a headache because it's not working, I recommend at least trying to learn that method. It seems a little more consistent than this one I'm about to do. So yeah, the other method you can do that's a lot easier is just that. So you can just rocket excel at the door, and right as you're about to run into it, just switch to Cream. Like, right before you're about to touch the door. And you'll clip through if you're lucky. A lot of the time, it'll take maybe 2 or 3 tries, maybe even more than that. But it's kind of up to you to choose which one you're more comfortable with doing. I kind of do a mix of both, where like I'll try the hard method a few times. If I'm not really doing it well enough, I'll switch to the easy method and hope I get it really fast. So yeah, you can kind of play around with it. If neither of the door skips are really working for you, and you'd rather just take a little bit of time loss, you can do it the normal way by breaking those boxes. Hitting this orb, you can belly flop there, hit the spring up here, and then hit the orb down here. And the door will be open. So that's an option for you if you'd rather just not deal with the skip. Once you're up here, you'll hit this. And you actually want to jump down here. And there's ground down here, don't worry. You'll play as big here and jump off right around there. And you can belly flop all the way down here. And then we're almost done. Right here you can belly flop onto the rail, get a bunch of speed, switch to cream and jump off the rail, but make sure you have confirmed that you're cream before jumping, because if you jump off that rail as big or cream, you're done for. You will die, so just make sure you're cream before you jump off. And you can fly down here and just fly into the goal ring that's tucked down there for some reason.
That was good.
Alright, so at the start of this level, if you're just starting out, I would recommend grabbing a ring or two right here.
Don't worry, I'll be right back.
You can kill that guy. There's a switch right here. And then you want to kill this guy right here. That's why you want to get the ring, because you can accidentally run into him and he'll kill you and you have to restart and it's annoying. But after you kill him, just hit this. Belly flop these guys, then belly flop cancel into cream. And just make your way up here. Kill this guy. And then you can ignore all of that. You can ignore this guy as well. Oh, he got me with his hammer. Normally you can just jump by him. And then jump straight into that wall. It's as easy as it looks. Just skip right by it. And then right there you saw I could thunder shoot this bobsled from way back and just hit the trigger for it like super early. That's pretty neat. Make sure you jump over that laser wall there. And remember, hold up on the bobsled to go quickly. Right here, stand in line with this box, like right here. Thunder shoot. There we go. Thunder shoot once to break the box, and then again to get the switch. Right here, belly flop cancel the cream, and again, belly flop cancel the cream. And that's pretty tough to do. It's harder than it looks. The inputs are a little tricky, but you will get used to it. Just keep practicing it, and it's not so bad. Alright, so this is another enemy rush level here, similar to Robot Carnival. We're actually going to start it off by doing that frame perfect glitch I was telling you about in Metropolis, where you can get Team Blast meter really quickly. you're actually going to do 4 of those. And don't worry, you have as much time as you need to do these. These enemies aren't a threat to you whatsoever. Basically, play as Cream, try to press B and X on the same frame. So there's 1, 2, 3, and I missed that one, hold on. There we go, 4. And once you get your 4, you can Team Blast. After that, switch to Big, stand right about here, and do your spin move. And then again, walk a little bit more forward this time and do it again. And then you might miss a couple if you do that. Ideally, you get all of them. Right here, do it again. Try to be in the center of this arena if you can. Nice. And then right here, watch the top of your screen. And once you see the robot come into frame, like that, press Z. And then stand in the middle, wait a few seconds, and then start spamming B and just totally own this guy. And it's as easy as that.
Is it finished?
And now we only have 2 more levels and a boss fight left. So we're almost done here. Egg Fleet's probably the longest level, I think, in this run. Especially with these strats. Using beginner strats, it's definitely the longest. Just like Metropolis, it's going to start with an auto-scroller here, so I'm not actually controlling. And then right about now I gain control, yep. So land on the rail, and at the end of it you can jump and homing attack into those rings to get up here. And then I like to do a hammer jump right here. Hold on. Something like that. Otherwise, just use Cream to get down here. You can jump off early like this. Get over here. Go like this. Thunder shoot to get up here. Just kind of work your way up. If you belly flop into this big fan and then pull out your umbrella, that's probably the easiest way to get up. Then up here, you can play as Cream and just get up here. Then do belly flop cancel up here. And then jump off the end of that ramp again to skip the rings. And then, once you're off of that ramp, you can aim to the left here. Fly off that ramp or that rail as big so you can belly flop. Get down here, switch to Amy and tornado this thing, and then grab it as big. And for this part, just make sure you don't press any of the face buttons, so like A or B, Y or X. I don't know if Y and X kill you, but I wouldn't risk it. Just keep your hand away from the buttons for this part. I have made that mistake before. And the reason we grab this as big, you probably already know. We want to belly flop as we get off of it. When you're going up that slant right there, you can jump to get up here. belly flop cancel to cream to get up here. If you jump into this cannon, you'll get like a little bounce like that. That helps you get up. Right here, you can jump off, and a few seconds into your flight or your jump, you can start flying and get up there. And then again at the end there, I used another one of those cannon jump things to get over the gate and just end the level like that. For this ending part, what I recommend doing is making Big stand on this gray line right here so that you know when you belly flop into Amy, you can just hold forward and then homing attack the goal ring. You don't have to worry about falling off there. It's a neat little setup. But for the start, hold B on this rail and hold up. So when you fly off, you'll just land on this thing. You can jump to this next one. And then jump off the end of this rail to get up here. If you don't quite make it, you can like land on this thing or even this. Just get up here. Right here, I like to do a hammer jump. But if you don't want to, you can just get down there where that checkered floor is down there. But if you want to do a hammer jump, you can. Or whoops. If you're not terrible like me, hold on. There we go. That's what it looks like. So you can hammer jump your way over here like this. If you do take the bottom route, just know that there's a spring under here that helps you get up. At this checkpoint, you can do another hammer jump if you want. Or just do that. Either way. And then one more here you can do if you want. Once you're up here, belly flop into Amy, switch to Big, go like this, go around to this guy, bounce off this cage into Cream, thunder shoot, land on this rail. Then once you're right there, we're going to try to get to that other platform over there with the spring on it. And a way to do this is belly flop cancel into Cream, get your max height out of this jump, thunder shoot your way over, something like that. Otherwise, if you'd like, you can tornado this, and right here, don't press anything until you land on the rail, just to be safe, and get over here this way. Once you're up here, land on this rail, jump off to the left here. Right here you can belly flop, switch to Cream as you run off, catch yourself in the air like this, fly into this place, bounce up here, and as I go up this ramp, I'm going to play as Cream, and right up here at the peak of my jump, I'm going to catch myself and fly up here. Now the camera here is atrocious, but there are 3 enemies that I have to kill in order to open a gate that's in front of me. And if you don't have Team Blast here, you can do the Team Blast glitch, or just kill them normally, farm Team Blast, whatever you want to do. So Team Blast them. Run forward, there's a laser there you can't see. Switch to Big here, use that formation to press all 3 switches at once. Then fly up, and then head on over to this rail section here. For this part, I like to grind as Big so that you can belly flop this next part. When you fly off this rail, don't press anything except for B. Just press B there. If you hold a direction while doing it, you will fall. Like right at the end of the game, and it's not fun. So, yeah, for that last belly flop I did, just don't be holding any direction.
We're like awesome.
And then all we have left is Egg Emperor, which is a pretty simple fight, actually. There's a way to damage him very quickly. Like, I'm actually not sure if it's an exploit or not, It might be. But you can kill him like very quickly, actually.
Rocky, where are you?
It's your fault that Sonic and I aren't together. You're gonna regret this for the rest of your life.
Enough of this. Increase time to work later. I'll show you.
Alright, so right away, start playing as Cream and dodge his attacks. And you're gonna pick up this power up on the left here. It's a flight core. So just bump into that. Let him cross this gap a little bit before you jump yourself into this ring. And you'll get that balloon there. And then you saw, right now I'm standing on the right side of the track. And that's just to make him aim his attacks this way. He'll shoot like 4 blade things, I guess you want to call them. So once he shoots his 4th, you can move over here and switch to big, and then press B as he's about to hit you like that, switch to Cream, and start spamming A and B like this. And you can do that for a while, like up until probably he's way in the back like this. And you're basically going to do the same thing again. So make him aim his attacks to the left here, go to the right, attack, and then finish the level. And that will actually kill him, but I want to show you full speed, what it looks like.
What real evil is.
Okay, let's give it all we've got.
Okay, dokie.
Let him go a little bit, then fly into this, aim to the right. So he's shooting over here. Now I can walk over here and get ready to parry. Switch, start spamming. And then right about like now-ish, just land, get ready to do it again. Block that, spam, and he is going to die right now. And that's time. That's the end of the run right there.
I won't go down that easy.
So this game actually runs off of something called in-game time, which doesn't work the same way as most speedruns, right? So most speedruns you would start a timer as you're starting the game, and then right when you deal the last hit or beat the game or whatever it is, you'd end the timer. But there's actually a function in this game. Every level has that clock in the top left, and basically the file select screen will have your total amount of time spent in each level. It kind of adds up all those times and gives you like a final time. And that's what the community decided to use as like their official timing system. So you don't actually have to use a timer for this game at all, theoretically, if you don't want to. I recommend still doing it because it can help you kind of see what your pace is, how much time you save on certain levels and stuff like that. So having splits is still good, but ultimately the game runs off in-game time, which I will show you how to calculate in a sec here. I'm actually going to... So normally at the end of the run you would watch that cutscene, sit through the credits, and then you'll go to the file select screen and see your time. For the sake of time right now, I'm just going to restart the game. And show you how to look at your final time. But yeah, don't reset the game after you finish a run. Don't be like, oh, I can just skip by the credits by resetting. Because that won't take into account your Egg Emperor fight. Oh, whoops, I pressed B there. So yeah, just sit through the cutscenes, sit through the credits, and then once they're all done, I'll show you in a minute here. Well, hold on. So once you're done with the credits, you'll get back to this screen. You can just go to Options, Game Data, and then that time is what your final time is. And whatever it says, that's what you'll submit into speedrun.com/SonicHeroes. Go to the Team Rose tab and just click the Submit a Run button in the top right. And yeah, that's kind of a nice beginner route for you. Nothing too tricky that I went over, I don't think. Kind of just a baseline understanding of how the speedrun works. If you get to the point where, you know, you've kind of mastered all the easy stuff, you're not really saving a whole lot of time anymore, you can always check out more resources from other runners on like some of the harder tricks in the game that I didn't cover that save more time. There are plenty of those, plenty of skips and stuff like that you can check out, and I'll probably throw a few in the description below if you want to click on those. Otherwise, you can comment on this video or tweet at me. You can check out my stream if you have questions. Yeah, but I really hope you give this game a try. I think it's a really sick speedrun that's super underrated, super underappreciated. I hope you give it a try if you want to, and I hope this guide was super helpful. So, thank you guys for watching. I've been Freefall, and I